What is the latest Premier League transfer activity? Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Today, for the first time this summer, we're taking a deep dive into the latest done deals and rumours in the Premier League transfer market. Do make sure, of course, to share your thoughts on your team's business so far this summer. It is still quite early. Let me know which rumours you're quite intrigued by. Do make sure, if you like this video, to hit that thumbs up button. If we can get 300 likes, we'll do some more Premier League transfer videos. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button to get your Premier League fix. This is the first video we've done on the Premier League transfers this summer window, so let's dive into it and catch up with some of the managerial changes. First up, at AFC Bournemouth, after the dismissal of Gary O'Neill, they have brought in Andoni Areola. Now, initially when Gary O'Neill got dismissed, a lot of us felt sorry for him. We felt like he'd done a good job keeping AFC Bournemouth up and that he deserved a shot at trying to keep them up next season as well. But this looks like a big change for AFC Bournemouth. It's their first ever foreign manager. Areola has managed Rayo Vallecano over the last 3 years. He finished 11th with them last season, and it feels like this is them going in a new direction now. Do share your thoughts on this one if you're a Bournemouth fan. What's your thoughts for the new season? Do you feel like you might be able to push on up the Premier League with this new manager? Over to Tottenham Hotspur, who'd brought in Ange Postecoglou, who'd managed Celtic over the last 2 seasons. I feel like Ange Postecoglou coming to the Premier League is going to be quite interesting to see, because there is quite a bit of expectation with this manager. He did well with Celtic over the last 2 seasons, where he'd won the SPL title back-to-back. He picked up a couple of trophies on the way as well in cup competitions. He's also managed Australia as well. I am intrigued to see this guy in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur fans, share your thoughts on Ange's style of play. How do you reckon you're going to get on next season? Over to Chelsea, who'd brought in Mauricio Pochettino. Now, obviously, in the Premier League, we're very familiar with Mauricio Pochettino. I personally quite like him. He has previously been at PSG. He did win League One with them. Obviously, we remember him quite well as the Tottenham Hotspur manager. He managed Southampton in the Premier League as well. I personally feel like he took Tottenham Hotspur so far. I feel like they were the best they've ever been over the last 20 years when they were under Mauricio Pochettino, and he was quite unfairly treated when he was dismissed. If Chelsea can be patient, give Mauricio Pochettino enough time to build his team up, which we will come on to in a minute with some of their transfer business, I do feel like Chelsea will be going in the right direction. Share your thoughts if you're a Chelsea fan. On to some of the players then and the done deals. Let's catch up on some of the big ones. First of all, Mason Mount has gone from Chelsea to Manchester United for 55 million. Share your thoughts on this one if you're a Manchester United or Chelsea fan. The England midfielder scored 27 goals in 129 appearances for Chelsea, but now he's on to a new experience. He's moving on to Manchester United, and I'm intrigued to see if he comes straight into that starting 11 for the Red Devils. Brentford FC have been busy bringing in Nathan Collins from Wolves. The 22-year-old centre-back made 26 appearances for Wolves last season. They've brought him in for 23 million. They've also brought in Kim Ji-soo on an undisclosed fee deal, and Brentford have also signed Kevin Schade from Freiburg for 22 million. I like it. Brentford have been busy, and some of these signings have real potential. Share your thoughts on some of this business going through if you're a Brentford fan. It looks like they're making their business early, and it looks like some of these additions could be absolutely cracking. Over to Luton Town, who have brought in Mads Anderson from League One side Barnsley for an undisclosed fee deal. The 23-year-old centre-back has made over 120 appearances for the Tykes over the last 4 years. It is also worth mentioning Luton Town have given captain Tom Lockyer a new contract as well, so they're really shoring up that defence coming into the new season. What's your thoughts on this business so far from a Luton fan? Over to Wolves, who've brought in goalkeeper Tom King from Northampton for a free. The 28-year-old has played for Stevenage, Wimbledon, Newport, Salford, and obviously Northampton as well. This will be his first crack at the Premier League. I wouldn't have thought he'd come straight into that Wolves starting 11, but do share your thoughts on this one coming in at Wolves. Newcastle United have brought in Sandro Tonali from AC Milan for an undisclosed fee deal. The 23-year-old midfielder has made 120 appearances for AC Milan in the last 3 years. He's also an Italian international. I'll be intrigued to see your thoughts on this one if you're a Newcastle United fan. Looks like they really do mean business again this summer transfer window. Brighton have brought in goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen from Anderlecht for a £16 million deal. The 20-year-old goalkeeper actually plays in the Netherlands under-21 side, so this guy looks like he could be quite good. A couple of days ago, Liverpool brought in Dominik Szoboszlai from RB Leipzig for a £60 million deal. The 22-year-old attacking midfielder is also a Hungarian international as well, and when you put this together with the Alexis McAllister deal as well, this is a really strong building job from Jurgen Klopp for that Liverpool midfield again. Liverpool's Fabio Carvalho has gone in the opposite direction, going out on a loan deal to RB Leipzig. This might be an opportunity for Carvalho to get more game time. He only made 13 appearances for Liverpool last season. Share your thoughts on this one if you're a Liverpool fan and your business so far. Chelsea's Reuben Loftus-Cheek has gone to AC Milan on an undisclosed fee deal. If you're a Chelsea fan, share your thoughts on the 27-year-old midfielder going over to Serie A. Once again, like I say, this is a massive rebuilding job from Chelsea. There's players going in and out in every direction. It's like a shopping centre. Another Chelsea player that's gone out the door is Kai Havertz, who went to Arsenal quite recently for an undisclosed fee deal. The 24-year-old attacking midfielder has made 91 appearances in the last 3 years for Chelsea. The most memorable goal obviously being that Champions League final goal against Manchester City, which helped Chelsea win the Champions League. We touched on James Maddison going out from Leicester to Spurs the other day in the Championship transfer video. For 40 million, I think this is really good business from Tottenham. I always think it's worth trying to take some of the best players off teams that have been relegated, as I feel like they've got less bargaining power. And the fact that they've also brought in Kulusevski, I feel like Tottenham are really building a nice attacking team going into the new season. Share your thoughts on Ange Postecoglou's Spurs side so far. Back to another Chelsea player that's gone out the door. It's goalkeeper Edouard Mendy going to Kula Ali on an undisclosed fee deal. The 31-year-old's made 75 appearances for Chelsea over the last 3 seasons. He's certainly had some highs and some lows. Let me know your thoughts on him going over to Kula Ali. It's quite an interesting one. Once again, another Chelsea player going out the door is Mateo Kovacic, who's gone to Manchester City for 25 million plus add-ons. Looks like sensible recruitment here from Pep Guardiola. He's made 110 appearances for Chelsea over the last few years, and obviously he's a Croatian international as well. This guy's going to bring so much experience into that Manchester City midfield that's already got a load of quality anyway. However, Manchester City midfielder Ilkay Gundogan has gone out the door. He's gone to Barcelona on a free. The 32-year-old midfielder has spent the last 7 seasons at Manchester City. He's been so integral to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, winning the Premier League numerous times as well. I think this is really good for Barcelona, bringing in a player like Ilkay Gundogan, who I would say is one of the best Premier League players of the recent years, on a free as well. Brilliant. Yet another Chelsea player going out the door is Kula Ali, who's gone to Al Hilal for an undisclosed fee deal. The 32-year-old centre-back only managed 23 appearances for Chelsea last season. There was a bit of hype about him coming into the previous season, and he didn't really deliver. In general, Chelsea were just very underwhelming. He's only spent 1 year at the Blues. He's now going over to Al Hilal. Burnley have seen some business going through recently, bringing in West Brom's defender Dara OShea for 7 million. I do like this from Burnley. The 24-year-old centre-back has made 96 appearances for the Baggies. He's certainly a good defender. They've also brought in Manchester City goalkeeper James Trafford for 15 million as well, so they're really shoring up that back line with some of these signings. Wolves midfielder Reuben Nevis has also gone to Al Hilal for 47 million. Reuben Nevis has been my personal favourite Wolves player over the last 6 seasons in which he's been there. He's made 220 appearances for Wolves, and he's made such a difference in that team that carried them up to the Premier League and that team that helped them push on into the top half of the Premier League as well. 47 million though. What's your thoughts on that price tag? Share your thoughts if you're a Wolves fan down below. Going back to Chelsea, Christopher Nkunku has gone from RB Leipzig to Chelsea for 52 million. The 25-year-old French midfielder has scored 47 goals in 119 games for RB Leipzig. Like I say, he can be an attacking midfielder. You can just use him as a forward as well. I think this has certainly got potential to be a good signing for Chelsea. They need goal scorers going into the new season. But another departure from Chelsea is N'Golo Kanté, who's gone to Al Ittihad. And the worst part is it's on a free. If you'd have said to me a couple of years ago that N'Golo Kanté would be going for a free, I wouldn't have believed you. Going back to Brighton, they've brought in João Pedro for 30 million from Watford. Hands down, brilliant signing. One of the best players in the Championship. And I did think after Watford didn't get promoted last season, how much longer was he going to stay in this division? I think it's a really good signing here for Brighton. They've also brought in James Milner on a free. So you've brought in a lot of attacking quality and experience with these signings. Brighton just continue to impress me with their business. Aston Villa have nabbed Youri Tielemans from Leicester City on a free. Another player who I just think it's absolutely crazy that he could be going out on a free. This guy is an absolute talent, and if Villa can get the best out of him, then this is an absolutely cracking signing into their midfield. Share your thoughts on that deal if you're a Leicester City or Aston Villa fan. Let's move on to some of the rumours going around in the Premier League in the recent hours. Let's start off with Callum HudsonOdoi, who's been linked with Nottingham Forest. The 22-year-old winger has obviously played for Chelsea over the last few seasons, but this would be an absolute steal in my opinion if Nottingham Forest could bring him in on a free. Let me know your thoughts on this one if you're a Nottingham Forest fan. This seems to be a very strong link that Forest could be the favourites to get Callum HudsonOdoi. We could be hours away from seeing Declan Rice revealed as an Arsenal midfielder. And the latest developments are that he's very close to signing for Arsenal, but I feel like we've seen that quite a few times over the last few days and weeks. Let me know your thoughts on this one though if you are an Arsenal or West Ham fan. Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea is linked with Turkish side Fenerbahce. David De Gea's contract expired quite recently, and Manchester United are in an interesting position where they're looking around for replacement goalkeepers at the moment, and it does appear that David De Gea might be going to Turkish side Fenerbahce, who are strongly interested in him at this moment in time. And even if you think he's got a few mistakes in his game or not, this would be an absolutely cracking signing for a player on a free. Back to Nottingham Forest, and their forward player Brennan Johnson has been linked with a couple of Premier League moves to Brentford and Aston Villa. We saw this before last season actually. I think it was Brentford who were going to take Brennan Johnson off them if they didn't get promoted. Obviously they did, and I feel like he adjusted and climatised quite well in the Premier League last season. However, there are still clubs interested in him, and they're interested in prizing him away from Nottingham Forest this summer window. What's your position on this if you're a Forest fan? What would you set the price tag at, or would you just not negotiate? Do you think he's that important you just can't sell him for any money? Let me know your thoughts as well if you're a Brentford or Villa fan. How desperate are you to get this player through the door? Another Nottingham Forest link here, and it's to Dean Henderson, the Manchester United goalkeeper. Nottingham Forest certainly needs to have a strong goalkeeper ready to go for the start of the new season, and who would be better to pick than Dean Henderson, who did amazing for them in the first 2/3 of last season up until his injury. Forest fans, would you say this is your number one target, or are there other goalkeepers you might be interested in? Obviously, having a keeper you can depend on between the sticks can be the difference between staying up or going down. I feel like we saw that with Leicester City and Kasper Schmeichel. I feel like he was so important to them, and I don't know why they let him go. Birmingham City forward man Tahith Chong has been linked with new Premier League side Luton Town. Do share your thoughts on this one if you're a Luton Town fan. I feel like I remember him actually scoring in that 5-0 defeat for Luton Town when Birmingham ran right at Kenilworth Road a season or two ago. Obviously, we know the quality of this guy. He's young. He's only 23 years old. He's come from Manchester United as well. Do share your thoughts on this one if you're a Luton Town fan. I do feel like Birmingham City won't be willing to let him go out the door easily though. Sheffield United are interested in signing Nottingham Forest midfielder Lewis O'Brien. Let me know your thoughts on this one if you're a Blades or Forest fan. I feel like Lewis O'Brien didn't have the best season for Forest last year. He did really stand out as a great player at Huddersfield in that campaign where they finished in the playoffs. He only managed to get 13 appearances for Nottingham Forest in that 22-23 season. He is actually currently on loan at MLS side DC United. It'll be interesting to see where he goes after that. Will DC re-sign him, or will he go to Bramall Lane, or will he stay at the City Ground? Sticking with Sheffield United, and there's a lot of interest from Everton for forward man Ilkay Gundogan. This guy oozes class. I really like this guy in the Championship, and I feel like he is ready to step up to the Premier League. Will he be playing for Sheffield United though, or will he be prized away by a team like Everton? I feel like this would be a great signing for Everton. And Gundogan's already scored over 20 goals for Sheffield United now, and he's such a pacey player. He's going to cause some defences problems in the Premier League next year. Share your thoughts on that one down below. And the final rumour we'll talk about is Brentford goalkeeper David Raya, who has been sought after by Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United and Chelsea. Easily one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League in my opinion, and it doesn't surprise me that Manchester United are certainly going after him. Just as we mentioned a few minutes ago about David De Gea going out the door, would this be the suitable replacement? I do feel like Tottenham and Chelsea certainly need to strengthen in that position as well. Or could we see him staying at Brentford as well? Let me know your thoughts if you're a Brentford fan. What would you set the price target at for David Raya? So then guys, that wraps up today's video. That's some of the latest done deals and rumours. There's probably a few I've missed as well, so do share your thoughts on some of them down in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video though guys, please do make sure to hit that like button and do subscribe as well for your Premier League fix. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.